Hi, my name's Anita, I'm the Violet Stitcher, and this is Floss Tube number 44. Welcome everyone who has been here for the whole time, and welcome to any new joiners I might have had, and thank you very much for being patient with me because I've been away for 2 months, and the reason for that is I'm not sure. I think it's been, I'm going to blame work. Work and my wonky hormones at the moment, but that is getting better. I'm getting more used to that sort of stuff. Anyway, so yes, I have been, what have I been up to for 2 months? Had I been to Fantasy Forest already? Oh, I should look at my calendar, shouldn't I? Anyway, I can't remember. I've definitely been to the Chatelaine retreat since I last saw you. And I've been to a Bristol retreat. So that was lovely. And that's been it mainly. Right, okay, so I have a huge finish for you. Well, actually 2, but I can't show you Octopus Treasure Cave because I gave it to Lisa at Atelier, hopefully I've said that right, framing at the Chatelaine retreat, because everyone was saying how wonderful she was, so I've left it with her, and hopefully I'll get that back next year. But I can show you Wind in the Willows. So there's no need to show you what this is going to look like because it is complete. Okay, drum roll. Are you all excited? I'm going to have to get up one last time. Actually, it probably won't be because... Ta-da! Step back. There we go. It's all done. Finally all complete. Oh, I do have to put my initials in. I mustn't forget. I forgot to put them in Octopus Treasure Cave. But it's too late, said the framers. Anyway, so let's have a look through all the items. So there's a lot of background bits like this. Oh no, pointing. Like this very boring brown. Thank God that is finished. And then it's surprising how bored you get with blue as well after a while. Anyway, that is all over too. That's all done. Then there's various black work squares. So there's that one. So they give you, as part of this kit, they give you a selection of, I think it's like 6, so at least 6 different animal ones, 6 different floral ones, and 6 different Celtic inspired ones. So, and I can't remember which ones I chose, but I think I only chose one of the animal ones. Pretty sure I only chose one now. So this is either a floral or a Celtic. Looks a bit floral, maybe it's floral. And I chose some variegated thread to do that one in. I ran out of the thread that I wanted to do it all in, so I had to choose another one, a different one for the top. Hopefully you can still hear me. So that's another one that I did with some cross stitches, some black work, and that was, I think that's the Celtic. That's one of the Celtic ones. If you spot a mistake, tell me soon, because I'm going to be turning this into a quilt. I'll show you my fabric. That's another Celtic, looks like a wedding ring. Is it called double wedding rings or something? That one. So that's that one. So I did like the Celtic ones. This is, I think that's a floral one. You can see that's with a slightly different thread that I ran out of. Browny bluey. Then I did, oh, this is an animal one. Squirrels. Some of the animal, I do like the animal ones, so I may I could go back and do some of the animals and make them into biscornus. They would work well for that, I think. Can't believe I'm saying I'll go back and do some black work, but there we go. That is another Celtic one, I think. Some more Celtic knot things. I like those ones more because they had cross stitches in as well as black work. That's probably why I chose it. And this is, I'm not sure if that's floral or Celtic. There's a bit of both actually. Stars in it. That's nice. Okay, so the animals. Obviously you've got the big rabbit. Rabbit. So her name is Paisley Rabbit, but she has long ears. But you can't see me. One moment. Let me fold. There we go. So that is her. She is an epic number of stitches. That section there, just half of it, up to the top of her ears, is something like 20,000 stitches. But she comes out really well, and you can see that she's, if you pull her back, you can see she's writing in her diary, journal. Who knows? And she's got this sort of shirt dress on. And if I pull it out, you can see there's the rest of her legs, and she's on a chaise longue thing, which looks very nice. Good for her. Right, and since we're here, we'll look at Otter at the bottom. So I remember complaining to someone at a retreat that I'd never heard of Otter in Wind in the Willows. That is not true. Otter is in Wind in the Willows. So I was corrected. So I need to go back and read. I think it's not in the kiddie version that I've been reading, Zaria. That's why. So I need to go back and find out what Otter was up to in the longer version. What do we do next? Badger. Badger is... I do like Badger. He looks very much like I would have thought Badger would look like. Mostly over 2, bits are over 1. His pipe, go in, his pipe and the smoke. I thought the smoke was done really well because it changes colour, because obviously it's in front of his jacket and it becomes lighter when it's in the sky. Yeah, he looks great. In his sweater. I got Mole. Trying to tip the top of Mole's head off. There we go. Mole, excellently done as well. Brushing up, sweeping up with his apron on and his glasses. All the characters were really good fun to do. Unless I was cursing the over 1 parts. Because I've got to say, some of the over 1, I don't understand why it's been done over 1, given where the back stitch is, but what do I know? I'm not a designer. It looks wonderful anyway, and that's the main thing. That's Mole. I do like the way, see, this sort of colouring here makes it look like it's 3D. It's been done well. Who have we got left? Ratty. Okay. Ratty was fantastic. Look at him. He so looks like Ratty. Why he's carrying this armoury of weapons, though. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's the attack of the defending of Toad Hall against the weasels. I can only assume that's what it is. But his whiskers are fantastic. Yeah. Of course, Ratty is a water vole, not a rat, as we all know. Toad, and he is sitting at the top. There we go. And yeah, I think he's my favourite because everyone loves Toad. Well, yeah, he is the oh, my arm's getting tired. He is the main character. Is he? I mean, I guess Mole. I don't know. I always thought Toad was the main character, even though Mole gets to talk to Ratty all the time and it follows Mole around. Anyway, Toad having the time of his life as always. Let's come in a bit. And I have someone did say to me that that they were either planning to do or they had done. They got this Sal, but they decided to stitch the characters separately without all the boring background, which I think actually is a really good idea. You could put all the characters in a line or something, and it'd be a lot quicker. So anyway, I'm going to attempt to make this into a quilted wall hanging, and I have bought some fabric. Let me just go and get it. Sitting over there in the corner. Yeah. So, try not to drop it into my tea. So my vague idea, and this may well change as I continue it, is I bought some frog and toad fabric. That's Lewis and Irene, and I have the same pattern on darker fabric. There's that, and I think it's down by the riverbank. Can't remember what this series is called, but anyway, you get a series of toads and otters, and there's a beaver and a heron and ducks, and anyway, all the animals. So my plan is, let me just show you. Hold all this stuff up. Okay, so around the edge. Around the edge, I'm going to do about a 2.5 inch border of light green frogs and toads. See, it's the same sort of greens, just to focus on the main pattern. And then top and bottom, I'm going to pick some of these items out. Probably not the ones on black, so I'll keep the kingfisher for something else. But I'll take the green ones and the brown ones. Definitely the otters and the frogs and toads. And there'll be a strip of those top and bottom. And then around everything, to bind it all, I'm going to put the darker frogs and toads to finish it all off. Now that's the plan, and I've never properly made a quilt. I made a sort of quilt for my first niece, which involved a lot of machine embroidery, which was good fun. But yeah, this one's going to properly involve pinning and making sure the batting is even and all of that. And I talked to Susie at the Chatelaine retreat, and she gave me some good tips. So I might well be asking her for help, questions later. Susie, you've been warned. And also Susanna, who my friend who knows a fair bit about quilting as well. She has already given me some ideas. Told me to tone it down with my. It was going to be a lot more wild than this, so I have toned it down a bit. But I like my quilts to be I think if I ever make another one, it's going to be very random and lots of random colours and all that kind of thing. Anyway, so that's that. That's my Wind in the Willows, all complete. And as I said, I need to stick my initials in somewhere and then start the sewing. So yeah, I've got a fair bit of finishing work to do. So one of the reasons I've decided to change a few things, mainly because I've got so much work to do these days. I think it's because well, I know it's why. It's because I'm slightly changing roles at the moment. So I'm doing my own role and I'm doing the step up role, so that I can learn how to do that. So in March, I'm going to be taking over more of that role in March. But I currently have no one to pass my current role to, so I can't delegate very much of it. So what it means is I have a lot of work to do. So I don't get, so don't tell work, obviously, but sometimes in a meeting that was just a lot of talking and I was listening, I could stitch quietly in the background. I haven't been able to do that for months now because I've had to multitask. I've had to be doing other work in the background. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It probably means I'm not paying as much attention to the actual meeting as I would be if I was stitching, ironically. But I have no choice because I have so much to do. So between now and March, I've decided, in order to be able to do other stitching, other than, because I've been putting, I'm moving ahead as usual, brains all over the place. So obviously that was Wind in the Willows was my focus piece. Now it's Mixed Berries, which I'll show you next. So that's getting some really good progress and I'm very happy with that. So I've been putting 200 stitches a day into my focus piece, but I think at least until the end of the year, because I need to do some Christmas stitching, my friends' birthdays at the end of the year for the most part, or at the beginning of next. So I need to get all that birthday stitching out of the way and the Christmas stitching. So I'm going to reduce it to 100 stitches every day, and then I can get on with some other stitching. So that should help with that. And then I've decided Sundays are not for stitching, they're for finishing. So, which means that this Wind in the Willows quilt should get some movement, because I don't want to have it sitting around for another 3 million years. It does also mean, so this morning, oh dear, my voice. This morning, I have been working on this finish for my friend, whose birthday is at the end of the month. So I have finished it up at the back, and I have fussy cut. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a dinosaur, but it looks a bit like a Nessie-like, with some pterodactyls on the... Oh yeah, so my granddaughter has learnt the word for pterodactyl. We have a lot of plastic dinosaurs that we play with, and I found some great dinosaur jigsaws in the charity shop. And she went, I said, oh, where's the other half of this dinosaur? And she went, there's the pterodactyl. I'm like, wow, that is the word that you choose. That is the dinosaur you choose to learn first. Not T-Rex, pterodactyl. Okay, so that's cool. So anyway, I just need to attach these things together, which I'm going to glue because I'm not quite sure how else I would do it. It's wood. I've glued these before. It works well. I do need to buy some more glue though. So that's that one. So yes, so Sundays are for finishing and floss tubing. So that is, I've already started doing that and I'm quite hyped by it. So that was a nice ramble about everything and everything. So some more finish objects. So I probably don't, because I sat down this morning and went, oh, I'm going to have a ton of pictures and I'm going to have to pull them all out from the 9th of August. But actually I don't have that many because I haven't stitched on that many things due to too much work, and doing the 100 days of Chatelaine has meant that I've mainly stitched on Chatelaine. When I'm not stitching on my focus piece, I'm stitched on Chatelaine and I've had no time. It's bedtime after that. But I have managed to do a couple of things. So continuing with my 12 Days of Christmas from Annie Belcher, and her company is called something. I've forgotten what it's called. Anyway, so I've done 8 Maids of Milking. Here we go. Oh, she's falling off. I have changed the colours again, of course, because this is my trans 12 Days of Christmas stocking. I made her a bit browner and I changed her hair to be multicoloured. I've put all the beads in, so that's... See, and if I don't have Sundays for finishing, there is no way I'm ever going to get these stockings finished. I'm busy FFOing 4, 5 and 6 at the moment, so hopefully next time you will see those finished. So that's that one. I wonder who that was. I'm trying to get into my room. I have also finished... Oh no, while we're on that, hang on, let me find the other one. So I started 9 ladies dancing. I meant to put the final picture in for you. Okay, you'll just have to imagine it. Sorry. She's almost finished. So 9 ladies dancing now looks like this. She's got no head, so she's a bit creepy. But basically that is it. And then there's more branch stuff at the bottom. So I'm having fun with her dress. She will have a head, don't worry. So yeah, that's 9 ladies dancing. And then I should see, because it's October, I should already be on 10 Lords of Leaping, but I'm well behind. So hence my let's only do 100 stitches and then we can hopefully get some other stuff done. I have also finished, which one's this one? Summer Arbour from the Drawn Thread. I don't need to show you what it looked like before, because I don't think I got very far, had I? Or had I? Anyway, apologies, I couldn't find a picture, but this is what it looks like now. So I have changed. So most of the greens and browns are not called for, but they're a like for like stash replacement. But the flowers, so the sunflowers, these are supposed to be those are supposed to be sunflowers. I made them purple. You can get maroonish, purplish sunflowers. I tried to grow them this year. I failed abysmally. No surprise there. This colour, let's find it. Oh, you can see it better in this one. This colour is all one green. It did a nice variegation going through here. I was quite happy with that. It variegated fully all the way through the pattern. So that looked lovely. What else did I change? Oh yeah, these are supposed to be strawberries. You can't get purple strawberries, but the internet was trying to persuade me that it was possible. So I went with purple strawberries. These again were supposed to be white, I think, but I made them pinkish. So yeah, I've changed it to be a lot more purple, which matches the fabric, which is a nice heathery, greeny purple look. And so that is summer, and I'm now on to autumn, but I haven't got very far at all. Shall I show you autumn? Yes. Okay, so autumn Arbour is going to look like this. I think I've put about 100 stitches in so far, and I don't have any of the called for again, but I'm trying to do a like for like ish. And this is where I've got, so this is the this is the middle tree, and these are the variegated leaves. I'm loving the colours. Mine has a bit more. You'd be surprised to know that I chose the floss with the little bit more purple in it. So this leaf here, you can see, maybe you can't see very well, is a bit more purple, whereas their variegating was more green and brown. Mine's going more purpley brown. But I think that's okay. I got some exciting thread for the pumpkin. Look at that. Ooh. It's from Crafty Kitten, called Pumpkin Patch, so I thought, well, that's very appropriate. So we'll do that. I've also got some leftover, I think that's a water lily. Yeah, it is a water lily. Greeny purple, so I thought that would be good to use. Yeah. That's it. So it called for 113, but I only had 114 red clay Gloriana, so that's my more purpley orange rusty leaves rather than greeny orange ones. But that seems all cool. That'd be nice. I think I'm going to take that to the No-Bama treat, although it's not going to get enough stitching done otherwise. Oh yes, I'm also going to No-Bama retreat at the end of the month. Beginning of November. That's that one. Let's have a look at the Octopus Treasure Cave. I can tell you I've finished it. You will see it next year. Summer Arbour I've showed you. Chinese Dragon Gate, let me show you that. So once I finished have I already done 27 minutes? Wow, I've been rambling all over the place. Right, so once I finished Octopus Treasure Cave, I went on for Chinese Dragon Gate, which was my next oldest chatelaine. This is what it is supposed to look like. Susie was at the retreat. She'd won the floss pack of the called for colours, and I noticed that her pillars, you can see the pillars there are brown, her pillars are brown, so I've clearly just chosen incorrectly because I was searching for the colours, looked at them on the screen, tried to do a like for like match up from stash, and or I purchased some cottons because I'm not buying silks anymore, and clearly I've just got this one wrong because it is supposed to be brown and mine are orange, but never mind. I'm okay with what I've got. Things looks very colourful. Let me show you where I was before. Okay, so look at that. I only had not even half, is it? It's just a section on the side. Now look where I am. Ta-da! Look at that. I'll take the picture down. So, look, how about that? If you work solidly on a project, you get really far. Who knew? So I realised that because I'm picking from stash and everything, there's a bit of floss just sitting there, isn't there? I may well run out of some of the colours. And so I didn't, because it's symmetrical to a certain extent, I didn't want that. I wanted it to look the same both sides. So I decided to work my way across. So whatever I put on one side, I'll make sure that I put in the other side as well. And if I decide that I need to do a replacement because I don't have enough, then I can keep that symmetrical. So for instance, I know I'm going to run out the Gloriana that I have that I'm using for the very dark purple, in the middle here. Is that going to be in focus? Yeah. So in the middle here, between these roads, are they roads? I'm not sure. Anyway, there is no way I have enough for this. Is supposed to be in the border as well. I simply don't have enough. But luckily for me, it's a dark purple, and I have a ton of other dark purples in my stash, so I'm going to replace that. I have not done all the backstitch in the other side yet, so I need to do that. And I'm still trying to decide. So this bit in the middle, you can personalise. It gives you an alphabet. I think I'm going to stitch AV in it, but I haven't quite decided, so I have left that bit till later. I had a lot of fun with all the specialty stitches. I have changed gold to silver where it came up because I dislike gold. And I think this green I've used is a lot more green than the intended green. But there we go. Never mind. It's looking... I really like it. And quite a few people came round and said that on camera, the colours don't really show. Which is a shame because one of the reasons I love stitching this is because of all the funky colours. And that dragon at the bottom, which I'm saving till the end, is going to be so colourful. And you can sort of see there's a fair bit of sparkle in this already. I haven't put any beads in yet. See, it's all sparkly here, and across the top here it's all sparkly. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun with that. I've put so many stitches into this that I don't think I'll be picking up again this year, unless it comes up in my game that I'll tell you about in a bit. Oh, look, I've got so many little bits of floss. Oh, Sabbat's creeping around the edge. Hello. Okay, let's put that away. Oh, that's why. It's because my floss card is, I don't know what you call that, floss keeper. It's open, that's why it's all coming off. Right, so that's that one. What should we talk about next? Oh, let's talk about my new focus piece. So my new focus piece is Stanley Morrison's Mixed Berries, which will look like this eventually, only I am taking out the sky and just using my fabric. I do have it. Here we go. So let me show you where I was before I started last floss tube. So his head was done, but for some reason I didn't take a full picture. Apologies if you're shaking, that's Sabbat settling into her heated bed. We've got to that point in the year where the cat heater needs to be turned on. I got yelled at. Okay, so no, I've lost it. There we go. So I have done a ton of progress. I think it's at least 2,000, if not more, stitches have been put into this since you last saw it. There we go. Look how cool he is. I'm very excited. It's done. Oh, I'm loving. Look at this bee. Let me just zoom into that bee for you. It looks so good. Actually, it looks better when you pull back. Yeah. And there is a lovely butterfly a bit further along, somewhere here. And there's a beetle coming up here, and another bee over here. There are some other things as well that I haven't spotted, I think. So my plan is so I've pretty much finished her wings. There's a bit more wing that comes down here. So my plan is to go all the way down to the bottom in this area. So strawberry dragon section all the way down. Like these flowers, these strawberry flowers, I was doing those during the retreat, and stitching white and light blue on white and light blue fabric it's not my favourite, gotta say. And there is so much confetti. Like I was literally doing, I'd pick up one colour here, and then there's two of them here in that one. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad. This is why I ended up doing both flowers at the same time, because that is where the colours were in common. But I've moved, thankfully, I've done most of this flower now, so we're moving across And I've done most of the confetti because I've done it in both places, so that's good. So I'm doing this chunk across to here, and then we'll move down and down and down until we've finished that section. And then I'll move across to, if I show you the main one, either the blackberry dragon or the raspberry dragon. I haven't decided. I think maybe blackberry. And then I'll go back to the raspberry. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. And I think, well, maybe I won't if I drop down to 100 stitches a day, but I should be very near the end by the end of next year of doing this whole thing. And I did manage to enable the table next to me. They've all decided to buy this pattern from Stanley Morrison and stitch it. So that was quite fun. They're all coming around going, oh yeah, that's very nice. I'm like, yeah, you get 5 dragons in one go. Why would you stitch just one? Oh yeah, Ellie was at Elaine. I was tempted to call her Ellie because of her floss tube, but Elaine from Ellie Welly Stitcher was at the Chatelaine retreat, which was really nice because I got to see her in real life for the first time. It's very weird meeting a floss tuber that you watch a lot for the first time because you feel you know them and yet you've never met them. It's odd, but it was great. Lovely to see her, and I do hope she comes to the Chatelaine retreat again next year. Come, Elaine, come next year, because then I get to see you again. Selfishly. And Essex is so far away. Yeah, so where was I? Yes, I mentioned Elaine because Elaine is obviously doing if you haven't seen Elaine, go over and watch her channel. She is doing the blackberry, the large it's blackberry, isn't it? Yes, it's the large blackberry version of the Stanley Morrison. She's doing the background as well. So it's going to take her quite some time. But she's no stranger to large full coverages, so she'll be fine. So yeah, so that is my new focus piece, which is benefiting from a lot of stitches and focus even. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more on that one done. It's good to focus on a dragon again. Oh, sorry, that was probably a bit loud. Have I talked about everything? No, I've just got another one. So, yes, my cousin had a baby. I can't remember if I told you about this before last time, but she had a baby and I stitched her first child a baby sampler thing, and it was the Emma Congdon one, Welcome to the World, which I just detested doing. So this time I decided to do something I actually liked. So I went with, I haven't been telling you what I've been stitching on at all. By the way, that was on 25 count, Stanley Morrison, Paine Free Crafts. You can still get that, and you should go out and get that. There is also a similar one called Fruit Medley. Anyway, that's called Mixed Berries, and it's by Stanley Morrison. All the info's in the bottom. Hopefully I've remembered to do that. And it's on 1/1 25 count by some beautiful fabric from Chromatic Alchemy, which you'll never be able to get. Anyway, this one is by S.A. Stitch, and it's called Cosmic Dragon Baby, or Baby Cosmic Dragon, something like that. And it's basically a baby dragon hatching out of its egg, which I thought was appropriate for a birth sampler thing. And I've just started stitching a name, Lana. I won't tell you the rest of it for, privacy reasons. So yeah, so I'm busy stitching the name, and then I'm going to put the birth date, and then I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to post it to her, and she will get it before the end of the year, before that child has got any older. So I'm doing quite well, I think. And I have left this epically large amount of space, which I feel I won't need, but I will at least be able to gain some more fabric back. And this, I think, is also Chromatic Alchemy. This is 28 count, and I'm doing it 2/2, all DMC. And who did I say this by? This is by SA Stitch on Etsy. You can still get this. And there is not very much backstitch actually, which I was delighted by. There are 3 colours of there are 2 colours of backstitch, and no, I was right the first time. Sorry, 3 colours of backstitch in various thicknesses, and there's also this one's tent stitch at the bottom. She does like her dimension bit, and and the tail looks really fluffy. It looks cute. So yes, I'm very much enjoying this one. So as I learned from my last one of don't stitch something you don't like, because what's the point in that? So yes, Ulana is will be getting that soon. Not that she cares, because she's very, very tiny. So that's that one. So hopefully that'll be a finish by next time. You'll probably have to get a photo though, because hopefully I will have posted it. Do I have anything else? Oh, one more thing. Okay, cool. So, oh yes, and this ties into, so all those things I've been stitching basically because I was going to stitch them. So the 12 days of Christmas, I've been doing one a month. I've been trying to do those. I started Autumn Arbour on the autumn equinox. I'm going to finish it hopefully by the December solstice, the winter solstice, December solstice, that's not what it's called, winter solstice. And I'll start the winter Arbour in December. But I have also, because I've been watching a lot of floss tubers, mostly Americans, who have been doing stitches related to the football game they're watching. I don't like football. I don't watch any sport other than Formula One. So I decided to give a go on some Formula One stitching. And if you like this idea, please feel free to join in, make any changes you like, tell me what you're doing. That would be cool. So there are 20 drivers on the grid at the moment, and I have approximately on the go 20-ish projects. At the moment I have 22 projects, which works for next year. There are 22 drivers on the grid because Cadillac joins. Bottas gets to come back and live his best life. Anyway, sorry, I'm on a real tangent at the moment. Just go off on tangents. So, where was I? Yes. So for every pattern, I've assigned a driver. I did it at random because it's more fun that way. And so last weekend there was the Singapore race, and Nerus, Max and George were on the podium. And so for every podium finish, so first, second and third, they get 200 stitches. And any did not finishes, I put at 100 stitches. Last race, there were no did not finishes, which is really surprising because the previous couple of races, I think the one before that, there were so many people didn't finish that I didn't manage to do all the stitches for them. So Nerus is my 9 ladies dancing. So I've got 200 stitches for him to do before the next race, which is next weekend. I've only so far managed 100. No, I don't think I've managed any actually. I've got all 200 stitches of that to do. Cosmic Dragon Baby is Max. So I've actually managed 100 stitches. Ish. So I think if I finish that, I only have a few more letters to do and the date. So that should finish that off and that'll be all finished. And Reindeer is George Russell, which I don't have with me. Oh, I do have to show you. I can show you. So let me show you where Reindeer is at. So hopefully Reindeer will get its 200 stitches before the next for next weekend, for the next race. So that's where I am with Reindeer at the moment. No head. So I'll work up his body and get some more in. But this is a good way for projects that I haven't got round to touching much. to get some stitches into them. Rachel, my friend, has decided to join me. She's much better at actually doing the stitches that you're supposed to do. She's only got 10 projects, so she's allocated 2 drivers to each project. Hopefully that all made sense. Obviously, you can increase the number of stitches that you give to each project for the podiums or the did not finishes, or you could even do some for safety cars. There were no safety cars in the last race, really unusual. Or yellow flags, you probably get quite a few for that if you were counting those. Or penalties, you could give stitches for, you know, those that get penalties. Oh my god, Ocon would get so many. Sorry for any Ocon. Sorry, Sabbat, are you an Ocon fan? Apologies. So yeah, so that's what I'm attempting to do at the moment. It's a bit of fun. So I'll keep you going with that as I think we've only got 6 more races to do. And the last one. So Dragons of the Sabbat, I stitched on because Hulkenberg. Did he get to the... No, it was... didn't finish Hulkenberg. So I did some Dragons of Sabbat. Okay, so Dragons of Sabbat I haven't touched for a while, and it is enormous, as we know, by Anne Stokes. All the dragons. I am concentrating mainly on the top dragon. I only put 100 stitches in, so you'll barely see the difference, I think. Yep, so that's where it was before. And I'll just move these flosses out of the way. This is where it is now. So I have just, you can see I have just, oh god, can you see? Yeah, there you go. I have carried on with that tail going round, putting the colours in, but it doesn't look a great deal of difference because it's only 100 stitches, so you won't really see it. But yeah, I'm still liking that one. That is a forever piece. So as long as Hulkenberg races, I get to do some stitching. No, obviously, if he stops racing, I'll just assign it to another driver. And as I finish projects, I move that driver to another project. I should move it to I should make sure my oldest projects all have drivers, and then move the newer ones to the older projects. That makes sense to me anyway. I haven't bothered to give a driver to my focus piece, Mixed Berries, because I will be working on that one every day anyway, so no incentive needed there. I think that is all of them. So just another thing about, I was the very lucky recipient of winning the 100 Days of Chatelaine, which I was very pleased about, and I won a voucher for Corrie's Little Shop, which was at the retreat. And Corrie's Little Shop sells, she does some kitted up chatelaines. She sells a lot of Gloriana, all those kind of threads that you need for chatelaines. Not that I buy silk anymore, but she sells all of those. She also sells some gold work. So I bought this. I put some of my own money into it. You can't just get that for the amount of for the voucher, but a bargain, a total bargain. Look at the colours. I'm wearing my gloves today because it's so cold. But yes, the colours are beautiful. I'm not a gold person, but it comes with all the gold threads, so we will use gold. The Egyptians like gold, didn't they? So I'm just gonna. The instructions are really, really good, very comprehensible, which is good because I have no clue what I'm doing. It's going to be an adventure. Show you how beautifully I have, of course, pulled apart, but it's beautifully packaged. So this is the instruction manual, and you can see that they are. I'll show you the pictures, step-by-step instructions on how to do it all. So the wings are done all on organza. So she provides you with all the fabric. And I said, is this suitable for beginner? What happens if I make a mess and have to start again? And she said, don't worry, there is enough material here for you to do it twice, apart from the fabric, so we'd have to find more fabric. But there's a very basic piece of cotton, that's for the base. I might change this colour, because I have a lot of fabric. I think maybe I will do the whole thing on purple rather than on ecru, off-white. You get the tracing bit. I need to read all the instructions and see what I'm allowed to change in out. Some organza, very nice. Bits of felt. So that's pretty easy to replace if I needed to. I am of course going to get it right first time. Yes, totally. Some more cut out bits. So that's good. And then if I tip this up, are you going to see that? Yeah. Oh, that's my that's my raffle, which I didn't win. Let's throw that away. So yeah, you get the sewing thread, which I have plenty of, but you can't go too wrong. That is rose gold metal. So some nice cottons. I'm pretty sure you could use DMC. And then there's all these pearl gold bits that I have no clue what to do with. So I'm going to need to be reading those instructions carefully. Beautiful colours. Yeah. So I'm a little intimidated, but quite excited by this. So I haven't started yet, Elaine. Sorry. I'm not sure when I'm going to start. I'm not sure when I'm going to start. I think I've got some birthday stitching to get out of the way first. And then when I'm comfortable that I'm going to finish everything on time, and I have taken a couple of... I might start on my birthday, actually, which is next month. I have taken the day off for my birthday because I don't like to work on my birthday. I might start this. And, of course, a new cross-stitch project, which I haven't decided what it is yet. But this isn't cross-stitch, so it will not count towards my... Well, I don't know, actually. Maybe it should, because then I'll get it done. Anyway, that is that. It's beautiful and lovely, and I feel I've probably fallen down another rabbit hole. I'm going to do my best to work on this one first before I purchase anything else. Because, yeah, you heard it. If I go and buy another one and I haven't finished this, you'll be like, why, Anita? You said you wouldn't. Okay, so I think that is everything. Oh, plans for next month. Oh, well, plans for next month. Actually, when am I going to see you again? We're in October, aren't we? And I was supposed to come back to you. Okay, I'll try and film at the beginning of November. So next weekend, excitingly, we are going to pick up another cat. Savic's lying right there. She obviously doesn't know. Although she may suspect something's up because we have been to Pets at Home and bought some more kitten food and kitten stuff and another litter tray. And I've actually tidied my room because this is where we're going to keep the kitten. I say kitten, she's 6 months, six-ish months. So not an incredibly tiny kitten, thank God. But the idea is that Savick will have a playmate. That is the fingers crossed idea. And it's all going to go smoothly and they're going to love each other very much. That is the plan. I will put some pictures. Well, hopefully next time I will be able to hold up the kitten and say, yeah, here she is. She is, of course, getting a Star Trek name because that is how we name our Devon Rexes in this house, because they're big ears. So Savick is named after Lieutenant Savick, who appeared in some of the films, in the original series films. And the next, our newest one is going to be called after Chatelaine, which is the Vulcan in Lower Decks. Matt named her. I haven't actually watched Lower Decks. I got partway through season 1 and I hated it. So I've been told that if I skip the entirety of season 1 and start on season 2, it's a lot better. And I have watched the first episode of season 2 and I loved it. So I'm going to carry on with that. It seemed good. It didn't fill me with hatred for the main character. So it was okay. So I'll carry on watching that and work out what Chatelaine is like. And I can't wait to actually meet her next weekend. So that is what's exciting happening in my life. Lots and lots of work. Endless. Have I said everything? Probably not, but there we go. Let me know what you've been stitching on while you've been watching me, or not watching me and just watching the stitching. That's perfectly fine. As we've discussed, let me know if you want to do the Formula 1 stitching as well with me. That would be super fun. You can tell me who you've assigned to, how you've decided to do it. Are you just assigning them to your favourite drivers? You could do it via Teams instead. Yeah, so many different ways you could do it. Let me know. Otherwise, it would just be me and Rachel carrying on, which is perfectly fine. So, yes, I should wrap up now before I just waffle onwards forever. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for sticking with me. Thank you very much for commenting and subscribing and liking and all that good stuff. And I will do my very best to be back within a month. So take care, everyone. Bye.